What's up, everybody? Congratulations, give yourself a high five for finishing the last unit. Now we are going to bounce to unit 6, and it's going to be a really fun unit. I actually like this unit a lot more, plus I don't have to draw graphs and grids all over the place, so yes. So today is lesson 1 on unit 6, and we're going to talk about exploring triangles. This unit here can get pretty unorganized and scattered because we're going to learn a lot about triangles and shapes and what makes them those exact shapes and how we define those shapes. So the way we're going to stay organized is just with a piece of paper. So I'd like you guys to grab a piece of paper, pause the video, and come back with a sheet of paper. Welcome back. So today, instead of drawing things on a board, I'm going to draw things on my wall. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just use some computer graphics and things like that to teach this stuff to you. So hopefully everything makes sense. As usual, let me know in the comments down below if you guys are getting this, if you're not getting this, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, or in general, just let me know how you guys are doing or what you're up to, because it's awesome to get feedback and to hear from you guys. We're going to learn about 3 types of triangles today: equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. We're going to start off with equilateral, and it's easy to remember because of the word equilateral, and the root word is equal. So let's think about what that means. If a triangle is an equilateral, then guess what all sides are? They are equal. So that means if there are 3 sides, well, there are 3 sides because it's a triangle, duh. But since there are 3 sides, so that means the lengths of each side are exactly equal. So if one side is 6.2 centimeters, then all 3 sides have to be 6.2 centimeters. So not only with triangles are we going to talk about the sides, but we're also going to talk about the angles. So hopefully you guys also have protractors. If you don't have a protractor, highly recommend that you get one for this unit. However, you should be able to remember the angles and just figure out the angle just by looking at it. If there's a few of you that are like, oh my goodness, that was like a while ago that we learned about angles, I'm going to do a quick recap for you. Okay, so if the angle is small, and we're just measuring the inside of the angles because we're going to be measuring the inside of triangles, not the outside of the triangle, just the inside. Okay, so if this was one side of the triangle, this angle would be an acute angle. If you guys can remember, we talked about acute angles are small, so that means they're less than 90. So that means they're cute. They're just tiny and cute. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is a right angle. So a right angle just makes an L and is 90 degrees. And then the third one that you're going to need to know or remember is an obtuse angle. So we've got acute, right, and an obtuse angle. We've got acute, we've got right angles, and obtuse are more than 90. So the way to remember that one is obtuse angles are kind of obese or larger, so they're more than 90 degrees, and they're going to look something like that. That's probably the first time I've used these screwdrivers, to be honest. Okay, now that we had our mini lesson on angles, now let's backtrack. So we already know with an equilateral triangle, all sides are equal. Well, guess what? If all sides are equal, guess what the 3 angles in the triangle are? They're also all equal. So in case you don't know, all angles in a triangle, no matter what the triangle looks like, all add up to 180 degrees, no matter what. So that means if all angles and all sides in an equilateral triangle are equal, well, each angle has to add up to 180 degrees. So in order for that to happen, each angle has to be, wait for it, 60 degrees. So 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees equals 180 degrees. So equilateral triangles, all equal sides, all equal angles, and you just know the angle is 60 degrees by default. It's the only angle it could be if it's an equilateral triangle, because they all have to add up to 180, and since they're all the same, they all have to be 60 degrees. So those are equilateral triangles. The next triangle we're going to talk about the next triangle we're going to talk about is an isosceles triangle. So an isosceles triangle has two equal sides and two equal angles. So that means they've got one angle and one side that is different, but the other two angles are identical. They're like twins. So the way that I remember this is, think of the word isosceles. The first part of it sounds so much like an eye. How many eyes do you have? Two. Okay, so isosceles. I have eyes, I have two of them, and that's how I remember it. So two equal sides, two equal identical angles. So here's an example of an isosceles triangle. It has, as you can see here, two equal sides and one side that is completely different. Last, the third type of triangle is called a scalene triangle. And I actually don't have a good analogy for a scalene triangle. There's no equal sides and no equal angles. If you actually look at a lot of triangles around you, all over the place, most triangles are actually scalene. So scalene, no equal sides, no equal angles. So here's an example of a scalene triangle. As you can see, all sides are different and all angles are unequal. So for today, that is going to be the teaching part of lesson 1. And what I would like you to do is, on a piece of paper, and you're going to keep this paper separate from the questions that you might do, but this is going to be your guide to triangles. So maybe write triangle guide on it or something like that, or triangles, and write equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. And I'd like you to draw an example of each one. And you're just going to keep this forever. And as we show you more triangles, then you're just going to add to this page. So it's going to be a really good way to keep you nice and organized. Okay, as for work in the textbook, what I would like you guys to do is same thing I've been doing the whole time, is just choosing half of the questions. Work at questions that are at your level. If you want to get to the level 4 questions and the harder ones, obviously do the ones that are further on in the book. That should wrap it up. So once again, let me know how you guys are doing, and hopefully you guys all had a great Easter. So until next time, bye-bye.